Hello, welcome. My name is James and welcome to Goal and Extra. We are going to talk about Premier League. We know we're now counting down. Two games remaining to the end of the season 2025-2026. Lots of stake, title challenge, race for the Champions League slot finish, and who is going to go down? Already two teams confirmed. Burnley Wolves going down to the Championship. Now between Tottenham Hotspur and West Ham United, who is going to go down? That is a big question. And with the two games remaining, I think we're going to have a lot of twists and turns, and that's what we're going to see this time. So you're welcome. Wherever you're watching, please feel free to interact with me in the comment section down below, and we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Um, we are going to start off with, let's see, let's talk about the relegation. I mean, teams fighting for their lives is between Tottenham Hotspurs and West Ham. We already know that Burnley and Wolves confirmed they're relegated. They're going back to Championship now. Between West Ham and Tottenham Hotspurs. Now, the game Tottenham played against Leeds on Monday was a very important game, not only for Leeds, but also Tottenham as well. To me, I felt like that game was more important for Tottenham Hotspurs. I don't know. That's the way I think, because Tottenham needs to accumulate a couple of points for them to be safe. Yet for Leeds, they wanted only a point to be safe, and with the point they got yesterday against Tottenham, enough for them. Now they're on 14th. They're on 44 points and position 14. That makes them safe, because if you see that calculation, 44 points Leeds, number 14. Then West Ham with 36 points. If you look at the point gap, those are 8 points. I think 87 points. And now with that, with two games remaining, West Ham cannot catch up with Leeds. So definitely Leeds are safe. Now the same with Palace, 44, Leeds, 44. It's Nottingham Forest on the 16th position with 43 points. And now if you do with the calculation, that means with two games remaining, Nottingham Forest needs a point to be safe, to go on 44 points. And that will be hard for West Ham, because 43, 44, now 43 and 36 points, that's roughly, let's see, from 36 to 40, that is 4 points. From 36 to 40, sorry, that is 4 points. Then 40, 43, 7 points. Two games for 2 points, 2 games, 6 points up for grab. And now that means even Nottingham Forest is safe, because here they're on 43 points, West Ham 36 points. That is 7 points gap. Now with 7 points gap, 2 games left, 6 points up for grab. That put Nottingham Forest in a very good position, and they're safe. Now the fight right now is between Tottenham Hotspurs and West Ham. I think what makes it interesting is that draw yesterday. The draw Tottenham and Leeds had on Monday. It's now West Ham. West Ham still have a glimpse of hope that they can get something from this game, from the remaining games. Now, let's go and see what Tottenham have left with, and then West Ham United. We are starting with Tottenham now. Tottenham on Tuesday 19th, they'll be facing Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, London derby. Well, Chelsea this season, of recent time, they've been struggling to win games. to pick points. I think only positive results. To me, the positive result they had was that the previous game they had against Liverpool. It was a 1-1 draw, thanks to Enzo Fernandez's goal, and that one would probably give Chelsea fans and all the football lovers something probably to feel like maybe Chelsea can with the 2 games remaining they can do something. Can they fight for Champions League? I don't know. We are going to look at that, but I think it's Champions League position is a bit kind of, I think, is running away, is out of their hands now. But Tottenham is on a mission. They have to go and beat Chelsea for them to stay safe. There's no compromise. It is not debatable that if you go get a draw, you pick a draw at Stamford Bridge, then something might happen. No. Tottenham Hotspur's destiny is in their own hands. Win all the 2 remaining games, then you'll be safe. Drop points and whatever happens, probably if they drop points on Westham, we're also going to see the remaining Westham fixtures. But I think for Chelsea, it's not easy because on the 19th, Tuesday, they're going to be facing Tottenham Hotspur. Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge, and that is going to be, I think, is going to be a very difficult game, not only for Tottenham, but for Chelsea as well. Only hope Tottenham can have now, I think, the way they're playing now and under the coach, the new Tottenham coach, the way they are now, De Zerbi, the way they're playing now under De Zerbi, it gives you, I think, for the Tottenham fans, you start seeing hope. They believe that something is happening in this team, the improvement from players. They are fighting for their lives, fighting for the club, fighting for the manager, fighting for themselves as well. So you see improvement. There's something in that team, that the sign of improvement and positivity in that team. So with Chelsea struggling side, very hard for them to win games now, and facing a Tottenham side that looks like there's something cooking, some positivity in the team. So it's not going to be easy for this to team, and very hard to pick a winner. But if you ask me, I think Tottenham needs this. I think even to me, sorry Chelsea fans, but I think Tottenham needs this even more than Chelsea. So I'm kind of going for a Tottenham to get something from here, from this game, factoring the way Chelsea has been playing in their recent games, and difficult for them to pick results. And Tottenham on a mission here, I think it's going to be a difficult game for both teams, but I'm going for Tottenham Hotspur. That on the 19th, and if you look on the final day, 24th, Sunday, Tottenham at home against Everton. That is not easy game. It's not going to be easy for Tottenham. And Everton also, being a final day, you want to end the season on a high. Now, that question, will Tottenham be safe? Really difficult. If we are talking about the Tottenham we have watched, let's say, some couple of games before De Zerbi taking on the job, then I would tell you Tottenham probably would lose all these games. But now he's under new manager De Zerbi, maybe something can happen, but they're facing 2 difficult teams. I think Everton, but Chelsea, maybe they can find a way to get maximum 3 points from there. But with Everton, it's going to be very difficult. And that makes their chances for survival really simple. Out of 100, I think it's a 50 chance there for Tottenham to survive. If you look at the teams they're facing with that 2 remaining games, Chelsea and Everton. Now let's look at Westham. Now Westham on Sunday, 17th, they're going to be facing Newcastle at Newcastle backyard. And West Ham, Newcastle struggling. I think they're in a difficult position. If you look at their position in the league, they are on they're on, in the 13th position, 46 points. I think nobody expected Newcastle to perform this way. Pressure on Eddie Howe. I don't know if next season is still going to be Newcastle manager, but I think really the performance they had in the games this season, injuries also kind of had a factor, the way they performed. I think there was a period where the top players, Eddie Owen top players were missing, and I think that costed the team. But now they're going to face the West Ham side that needs nothing but winning the remaining games. So with West Ham Newcastle, I think this is a kind of game that, with the way West Ham is playing, I think they can get something. If you look at the way West Ham played Arsenal, and the never give up attitude, never die attitude is something that I think the positive they can take from the game they lost against Arsenal. It was controversial, yes, but I think they played their hearts out. The players gave everything, fans behind the players, and with that atmosphere, and they believe that they can get something, they can stay up. I think it's going to give Newcastle not going to be comfortable. Yes, even West Ham as well, but it's going to put Newcastle in a very difficult position for them to win, to beat West Ham United. It's not going to be easy. But West Ham is not losing this game. I'm seeing West Ham not losing. The worst, maybe they can get a draw. And if they get a draw and Tottenham fails to beat Chelsea and they play a draw, then the real match, will be on the final day when Tottenham will be hosting Everton. West Ham will be hosting Leeds. Now, it looks like even if Leeds is safe now, the way they played against Tottenham Hotspurs, fighting, good football from Leeds, and now they're facing West Ham, a team wants to survive. This is also no easy game. It is now very difficult to pick between Tottenham and West Ham who is going to stay up. I think whoever make the most of the games, utilize the chances, the little chances you create, the fewer chances you create, and you make the most of it, you capitalize on them, then definitely going to stay up. But if you ask me about these two teams with their remaining fixtures, I think it's not easy for both sides. Tottenham, Chelsea, remaining with Chelsea, Everton, with the way Chelsea is playing, someone can pick Tottenham to win that game. And Everton, very difficult side. Maybe we can say Tottenham can pick 4 points from these remaining two games. And if they take 4 points, then definitely that will take them to 41 points. That is for Tottenham Hotspur. Now, if you look at West Ham facing Newcastle, I don't see West Ham losing on the 17th against Newcastle. Yes, Newcastle is playing at home. I don't see them losing. And with Leeds also wants to, I believe they want to end the season on a strong note. Yes, they're playing away from home. And I think West Ham is going to win. Yeah. I think West Ham being at home, they're going to beat Leeds. But the tricky fixture is Newcastle West Ham. I think the best the West Ham can take from here is 4 points. So to me, I think both teams, Tottenham Hotspur is going to pick 4 points. Tottenham beating Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, then Tottenham, Everton at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I think they're going to share the spoil there. If Tottenham can fight really hard, then maybe they can sneak a 1-0 win, but I'm giving a draw there. Those are 4 points. Take them to 41 points. And West Ham, the same thing. I think they're going to get a draw at Newcastle, and then at home against Leeds, they're going to sneak a win there, and all end the season with these two remaining games, then 4 points each, 2 games. That one, still give Tottenham a chance to stay up. So I'm going for Tottenham Hotspur. You can have your saying in the comment section below. Let's be part of the conversation, and we talk about this. What do you have to say between Tottenham Hotspur and West Ham? Who is going to stay up with these two remaining games? Everton, Chelsea. Those are two games Tottenham is remaining with. They're going to finish the season uh, against Everton at London. I mean, at Tottenham Hotspur's Arena. That will be after them playing Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. With West Ham United, they have to, on the 17th Sunday, they're going to play Newcastle at Newcastle backyard, and then finish the season at home against Leeds. So for me, I think it's not going to be easy for both sides, but I go for Tottenham Hotspur staying up. That is with Tottenham with the relegation battle. Let's see chances for Champions League finished. I think yes, Manchester United, they're already up there. They're going to me, they're going to be in the Champions League next season. They already cemented their position. The task now is between Liverpool and Aston Villa. Can talk about Bournemouth, but I don't think Bournemouth can make it. Liverpool, Aston Villa, the only team that is can maybe dream is Bournemouth, because Bournemouth is on 55 with 55 points, number 6. That is 4 points adrift of 4th and 5th place. Liverpool, Aston Villa is respectively. 2 games remaining. Can Bournemouth pull a shocker here to surprise everyone? But I think Liverpool and Aston Villa are in a pole position to finish in the Champions League. So, and we probably going to see them both in the Champions League next season. If you look at Chelsea remaining games, they're going to face Aston Villa at Villa Park. Now that one, wow, Aston Villa, Liverpool, it's something. It's going to be difficult for Aston Villa, and with that, I think I'm tempted to pick Liverpool in this game. I don't know why, but I think Aston Villa will have to be extra careful. I think Liverpool, Aston Villa players, and I think the entire team want to be careful with their players with these 2 remaining games, because they have a final with Freiburg, I think, yes, Europa League final. So they have to be extra careful with these 2 remaining games, because if you look at the points they have, 59, 2 points, 2 games. If they can get 2 points from these 2 games, it'll take them to 61. And Bournemouth, if they win their 2 games, the 61, I don't think that can happen for them to win 2 games, the remaining 2 games. We are going to soon look at games that Bournemouth remaining with, but you look at Aston Villa. So I think Aston Villa host Liverpool, then they play Manchester City. Wow. So 2 difficult games for Aston Villa. I think the best they can get from these 2 games is a draw. Yes, I think they can pull a draw against against Liverpool. Then Man City on Sunday, final day at Etihad Stadium. It's going to be a difficult game for Aston Villa. If Aston Villa beats Liverpool on Friday, 15th, then they will have cemented their position to be in the Champions League next season, and that gives Unai Emery the liberty to now do what he wants with the final game. Do you go with your best players? Okay, some people, if Unai Emery beats Liverpool on Friday 15th, and on the final day, 24th, pick a makeshift lineup against Man City, to Arsenal fan will be like, no, you're giving them the title. That will depend on how Arsenal is performing anyway. But I think these 2 games for Liverpool, for Aston Villa, is difficult. The best I think they can get from all these games are draws. Liverpool will not want to lose, and I think it will play to their both advantage if they all pick draws. And then Man City, Aston Villa, it's not going to be easy for Aston Villa against Man City, believe you me. And the way City is playing, and they know they have to win all their remaining games, it's going to be really difficult for them, for Aston Villa. So with that, I think out of the 2 games remaining, Aston Villa picking a point and losing one. Picking a point probably against Liverpool, and definitely at Etihad Stadium. I see them losing. Factoring that Aston Villa will still have something to think about. That is Europa League final. Players need to stay fit, and I think no player would want to miss on that big occasion, Europa League final. And even the club as well, the fans, everyone in the club would want healthy team in the final, and they give their very, very best. And also, who knows, come back home with the title, Europa League title. That is with Aston Villa. The same with Liverpool. Liverpool, they'll play at Villa Park, Aston Villa, then at home at Anfield, they face Sunderland. With that, Sunderland being safe, and though they want to finish the season high, I think I'm going to give Liverpool. So out of the 4 games, 2 games remaining, 6 possible points, I think I'm going to give Liverpool 4 points. Beat Sunderland from the final day. I mean, not Sunderland. I mean, Brentford. Well, they're going to play. Sorry, they're going to play Brentford. Is the friendly they're going to do on pre-season? I'm kind of, my mind is now taking me to the Liverpool Sunderland game pre-season in July. But the 2 games Liverpool remaining with, they play at Villa Park on Friday 15th, and then on Sunday 24th, the final season day against Brentford at Anfield. I think I'm going for Liverpool. Pick a draw at Villa Park, at Anfield, you beat Brentford. Not going to be easy though, but I think they can get something from that. Those are 4 points, so Liverpool be in the Champions League next season. And I think as well with Aston Villa, because if you look at the remaining 2 games for Bournemouth, because it's only Bournemouth that can put a fight, kind of, to make sure they can get something, probably play in the Champions League season, which I think to me is going to be a mountain to climb for them. Because if you look at Bournemouth remaining games at Vitality Stadium on tomorrow, on Tuesday night, not tomorrow, but on Tuesday 19th, they're going to play Manchester City. Then the final game will be away, and the city of Nottingham. They will face Nottingham Forest. And these 2 teams are 2 games not easy. I think City would want to win, beat Bournemouth at Vitality Stadium, which is not going to be easy with the way Adoni Raiola assembled his team and the way they're playing, they're winning games, they're scoring. It's not going to be easy for City. But with the way City want this so much, I think they're going to pile a lot of pressure on Bournemouth. And with that, I think I'm going for City winning that game. Then Bournemouth in the final day can get a fair result for both teams. Get a draw. Out of the 2 games remaining, I think I'm going for I think a point. Because Nottingham Forest at home is going to put a hell of a fight to end the season in a high. Well, I think I'm giving Bournemouth 2 games remaining, possible 6 points, 1 point because they're going to lose. I'm giving them no chance against Manchester City. Yes, it's not going to be easy for City, but I think City might at some point become too much for them. And then Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, there's a draw there, but still will be enough to keep Bournemouth in Europe next season. To make them be in Europe next season. And, well, Nottingham Forest, they're going to play United on the 17th and finish the season with Bournemouth. They can also get something, maybe with United safe now playing Europe next season, Champions League. Yes, they have to finish the season high, but I think with Nottingham Forest remaining 2 games, playing Bournemouth at home on the final day of the season, and then before that, they will have played Man United at Old Trafford. And with that, I think 1 point or 2 will be enough for Nottingham Forest. But I'm sure Manchester United will want to win at home to give, a final season at home be in front of their own fans, really something to celebrate. So I think it's not going to be easy for Nottingham Forest at Old Trafford on Sunday 17th, early kickoff. Um, with that, I think my teams, those I think going to pin the Champions League position next season, Aston Villa, Liverpool, we're going to add up on those 3 teams: United, City, Arsenal, the Champions next season, and then the race for survival. I think Tottenham is going to stay up because, to me, I predict they're going to pick 4 points out of the 2 remaining games. They're playing Everton and Chelsea, so I think they're going to probably beat Chelsea and get a draw against the Everton final day at Tottenham Hotspur Arena. Those are 4 points, enough for them to stay safe. West Ham will have to play Leeds on the final day at home, but before that they travel to Newcastle. They have to beat Newcastle, and with that, I think I'm going to give them draw. They can pick a draw against Newcastle. Yes, Newcastle is not doing well of recent. They're not doing well, but I think they can put a big fight against West Ham. So West Ham can go back to London with a draw, and then at home against Leeds they can do something. They can find a way to beat Leeds. So, but with that will not be enough for them to stay safe. So I'm going for West Ham going down. Sorry for West Ham fans, but I think West Ham is going to follow Burnley and Wolverhampton Wanderers. What about the race for the title? Well, City is going to play Palace, that game at hand. Game in hand against Crystal Palace. And Crystal Palace is in a difficult position. I want to think like that because now they have Conference League along the way. They have to play City. After City, Crystal Palace is going to play, let me see, Brentford away. They're playing City at Etihad on Wednesday. Tomorrow, then they play again on Sunday away against Brentford. Difficult. It's a very tricky fixture. Then on the final day, Crystal Palace play Arsenal. There's a possibility that Crystal Palace can lose all these games, but still they're safe. They don't have pressure. Of course, if you look at the table standing, Crystal Palace is 44 points. They are safe. To me, they are safe. And with that, they can afford to lose all these games, but they have a reason to finish the season strongly for their fans, which I think is not going to be easy, even for the teams they will be facing, but for Crystal Palace as well, because they have something to think about. Most importantly, on the final day when they'll be facing Arsenal, they face Arsenal on the final day. Then 3 days later, they play in the final Conference League, Rayo Vallecano. So for Glasner, it's something. For Glasner is something to. I don't know how to tell you players not to worry, and for him to assemble his best 11 against City, against Brentford, and against Arsenal. You don't want your players injured. You don't want your best players suffering from injuries, fatigue in there when you have something to think about in the names of Conference League final against Rayo Vallecano. So I think these are tricky fixtures for Crystal Palace. Even the players don't want to get injured within these remaining 3 games for them in the league. Yet you have a big trophy to fight for. So it's something. And if they win, see, the final is more important, I think, because right now the league is done. To me, it's done for them. They are safe. They're going to be in the Premier League next season. But there's a reward for winning the Conference League. You win the Conference League, you're in the Europa League. So that is it makes it a little tricky for Crystal Palace and even for the manager Glasner himself and for the players to choose. Are you going to, in these games against Brentford, Man City, and Arsenal, are you going to field in your best 11? It's the game. Anything can happen. Injuries, players, tired and fatigue, and making it very difficult for them in the final Conference League. So Crystal Palace is in a very tricky position, and I think with these remaining games, there are also chances. Chances are they can lose all these 3 games against Man City on Wednesday, tomorrow, then a weekend game on Sunday against Brentford, then the final game against Arsenal. They can lose all these games. But you see something interesting about football. I know Glasgow is going to, because you need rhythm in your team. You need your players sharp. That means they have to be playing games, not only in training, competitive games. Even though I think it's going to be difficult for Palace in these remaining games, 3 games, for them to win, but I think Glasner will also use that to keep his players fit, his players sharp, rhythm going on. That means he's going to be filling in his star players also to keep them fit and sharp and keep the rhythm on. That will help them in the final game, Conference League final against Rayo Vallecano. So with that, I'm not giving them a chance. So Man City beat Palace, and then after that they play Bournemouth. They win against Aston Villa. I see City winning all these games, and that now said the ball. It's up to Arsenal because they play Burnley. Yes, Arsenal play Burnley. Burnley at home on Monday. City plays on tomorrow. Same number of games. I think Arsenal will still be leading by 2 points. Same games played, 2 points gap. Then Arsenal plays on Monday against Burnley. They win that game, again still 5 points. City plays Bournemouth on Tuesday. Arsenal plays on Monday. Bournemouth hosts City, Vitality Stadium on Monday. City wins, close the gap to 2 points. Then we might see title getting to be won on the final day when City at Etihad host Aston Villa, and Arsenal at Selhurst, Crystal Palace backyard. Crystal Palace will be hosting Arsenal. That's how interesting it's going to be. But these 2 teams, Arsenal, Man City, are going to play these 2 teams. I think what is tricky for Man City is that Crystal Palace will have remaining with 3 days after that game against Arsenal, final season game against Arsenal, to be remaining with 3 days to the final Conference League. And I want to think that will also play a part, because you don't want your players getting injured on the final day. That is for Crystal Palace. Fans would want to do that. We would want to see that. A player would want himself to be in that position to miss a big game of his life. That is the Conference League, and also what it means for the club as Crystal Palace. You win your final Conference League final, you play Europa League, you win Europe next season. So that might play a part and giving Arsenal a chance to win. Now, because Arsenal must win the remaining game. If they beat Burnley on Monday, then you have Crystal Palace that have something to think about within 3 days. Then maybe to play to the Arsenal advantage, because for Arsenal, they have Champions League final, yes, May 30th. have like 6 days to that. Six, because season ends on 24, then you have like 5 days to that. And for Arsenal, I think they will not think about the Champions League. Like, let me, like for Arteta to say, let me rest players, or my players will get injured because there's Champions League final against PSG, Budapest. No. I think the most important trophy right now for Arsenal, yes, Champions League is equally important, but I think Premier League title is the most important of all for Arsenal. And I think the fans would want Premier League. You win this first. The most important title for now for Arsenal is Premier League. Win the Premier League. Whatever happens, go to the final. Just enjoy your game. And final is a game of chance. It's not written on someone's back that you're going to win the championship. You're going to be the champions of the UEFA Champions League. So final is final. Whenever it's a final, there's nothing like this is underdog, this one is a favorite. Yes, going to the game may say that, but final can go either way. So with that, I think Arsenal will not worry so much about the Champions League final, and the most important thing for them is the Premier League. And I think they're going to beat Burnley and Crystal Palace, and they will end up being champions. So for me, I think all this, Arsenal win the remaining games, they be champions, and even for City, they're going to win the remaining game. I think they're going to beat Aston Villa the final day. They're going to beat Bournemouth, and they get a game at hand against Aston Villa. They're going to win it, but that still won't be enough for them to be the champions of the Premier League. Because I think Arsenal is going to beat Burnley on Monday, and then on the final day against Crystal Palace, they're going to win, and that will give them everything to be the champions of English Premier League season 2025-2026. And they're the champions for me. And race for the Champions League, I think Champions League finish, I think Liverpool and Aston Villa, they're going to be in that position, adding on Arsenal, Man City, and United to win the Champions League season. And Bournemouth, I think they're going to be in Europe. For the teams going down between Tottenham and Westham going down to championship next season, I think Tottenham is going to stay up. And sorry for West Ham fans, I think West Ham is going to go down. Have you say in the comment section below? What do you think about this? What do you think? Have you say in the comment section down below? Thank you so much. If you love this content, please give a thumbs up, like. Don't forget to subscribe. If it's your first time being on this channel, you're most welcome. You can support me by subscribing on this channel, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Please have you say in the comment section down below. From me to you, bye-bye. I love you all.